People often talk about time as the most valuable currency, but honestly it's a flawed analogy. You can't save time, you can only spend it. The real question is, are you spending it on the right things? Most people spend it blindly, just drifting through the present, totally unaware of the tidal wave of change that's about to hit. They're focused on today's problems, today's news, today's distractions, while the very foundation of our world is being rewritten by forces they don't even see coming. This isn't a gradual shift, it's a phase transition, a fundamental change in the physics of our civilization. By 2030, the world won't look anything like it does today. And that's not hyperbole, it's actually a conservative estimate. The comfortable, predictable structures that have defined society for the last century are, well, crumbling. Entire industries, the bedrock of our economy, will vanish, not just decline but completely disappear, becoming historical footnotes. The jobs your parents told you were safe will be automated into obsolescence. The skills you learned in college will be irrelevant. This isn't a distant, abstract future. We're talking about less than a decade. The clock is ticking and most people are just hitting the snooze button. But in this chaos, there is immense opportunity. As old empires fall, new ones will rise. The new industries born from this disruption will create the next generation of billionaires, thinkers, and builders. These are the sectors where the future is being forged right now, in labs and on servers, far from the public eye. Understanding them isn't just about making money, it's about understanding the new rules of reality. These are the 10 you need to know before it's too late. Pay attention, the future doesn't wait. First, let's talk about the most fundamental shift since the discovery of electricity: artificial intelligence. This isn't about clever chatbots or better search results. By 2030, AI won't just be a tool, it will be the architect of society. It will be the central nervous system of the global economy, making decisions at a speed and complexity that are, honestly, incomprehensible to the human mind. It will manage global supply chains, design new materials, discover new drugs, and allocate capital with ruthless efficiency. We're building a god, and yeah, we're plugging it into everything. The consequences are stark. Millions of jobs, not just manual labor but white-collar work like law, accounting, and even software engineering, will be automated. This isn't a maybe, it's a certainty. The friction in the system will be human beings. Those who learn to build with AI, to augment their abilities with it, will create unprecedented value. They'll be the ones directing this new force. Everyone else, those who resist or ignore it, will simply be left behind, rendered economically irrelevant. The choice is binary. You either leverage AI, or you become a casualty of it. For the last century, global power has been defined by one thing: oil. That era is over. The next chapter will be written by those who control clean, abundant energy. Fossil fuels are a dead end, a relic of a primitive technological age. The future is a distributed, resilient grid powered by a symphony of technologies. We're talking vast solar farms stretching across deserts, next-generation nuclear and fusion reactors unlocking the power of the atom, massive battery storage facilities stabilizing the grid, and hydrogen fuel cells powering heavy industry and transport. This isn't just about saving the planet, it's about power. By 2030, energy won't just power homes. It will decide which nations collapse and which empires rise. Countries that fail to transition will face economic ruin and geopolitical irrelevance, their old oil-based leverage gone. The new superpowers will be those who master the production, storage, and distribution of clean energy. Control over the battery supply chain, the patents for fusion, and the efficiency of solar panels will be more valuable than any oil field. Energy independence is the new definition of national security. The most complex machine in the known universe is the human body, and we are finally learning to hack its source code. Aging, disease, and the fundamental limitations of our biology are no longer immutable facts of life. They are becoming engineering problems. Technologies like CRISPR gene editing, mRNA therapies, and advanced diagnostics are already here, allowing us to rewrite our own biological destiny. We are moving from treating symptoms to reprogramming the system itself. By 2030, this will have coalesced into a full-fledged longevity industry. Youth itself will be for sale. Think about that. The ability to reverse cellular damage, to extend health span, to remain vigorous and sharp well past 100. This creates the ultimate form of inequality. The wealthy won't just have bigger houses, they'll have more time, more life. The price for this will be everything people own, and they will pay it gladly. This industry won't just change healthcare, it will change what it means to be human. For all of human history, we have been confined to this planet. That is changing. The race for space is already happening, and it's not about flags and footprints anymore. It's about economics. There are asteroids in our solar system filled with more rare metals, platinum, cobalt, nickel, than have ever been mined on Earth. A fully reusable, high-cadence launch capability is the key that unlocks this treasure chest. It turns space from a place of exploration into a domain of industry. By 2030, the companies building the infrastructure for this new economy will be dominant. We're talking about the rockets that provide cheap, reliable access to orbit, the global satellite constellations providing internet to every corner of the globe, the robotic systems for in-space manufacturing and asteroid mining, and the habitats that will allow humans to live and work beyond Earth. Space will no longer be the exclusive domain of governments, it will be the new frontier, and those who control the tools to access and exploit it will control the future of humanity. The battlefield of the 21st century is not a physical place, it's digital. The next world war won't be fought with tanks and planes, it will be fought with code, with ones and zeros. Our entire civilization now runs on a fragile digital infrastructure. Banking systems, power grids, water treatment facilities, hospitals, government databases, communication networks, all of it is vulnerable to a single catastrophic breach by a hostile state or a sophisticated non-state actor. The scale of this threat is hard to overstate. A successful attack could cripple a nation's economy overnight, shut down its critical infrastructure, and sow chaos without a single shot being fired. By 2030, survival itself for both corporations and countries will depend on digital defense. The demand for cybersecurity experts, for AI-driven threat detection systems, and for quantum-resistant cryptography will be astronomical. This is a perpetual, invisible war, and the companies building the shields and swords will be among the most critical and valuable on Earth. The first industrial revolution replaced human muscle with machines. The next one is replacing the human mind and hands. We are on the verge of a world with factories that have no workers, running 24/7 with perfect precision. Homes and infrastructure will be built not by construction crews but by swarms of autonomous machines. The most profound development will be robots that are capable of designing and constructing even more advanced robots, triggering an exponential feedback loop of progress. This isn't just about efficiency, it's about capability. Robots can work in environments too dangerous for humans, handle materials with microscopic precision, and operate on a scale we can't imagine. By 2030, robotics won't just build our world. They'll own the means of production. Companies that design the brains, the AI and software that control these machines, and the advanced sensors and actuators that allow them to interact with the world will dominate manufacturing, logistics, and construction. The physical world is about to be completely remade. Chapter 7. Virtual Reality and the Metaverse, the next evolution of the Internet. So, the internet today is really just a two-dimensional experience. We look at it through screens, right? But that's about to change. The internet will no longer be something you visit. It will be a place you inhabit. This is the promise of the metaverse. Persistent, shared virtual spaces where we can work, socialize, play, and create. Entire digital economies, with their own currencies, assets, and jobs, are already forming within these nascent worlds. And well, the hardware is catching up too, with lighter, more powerful headsets making the experience seamless. By 2030, the line between the real and the virtual will become increasingly blurred. People will spend a significant portion of their lives in these digital realms, not as an escape, but as an extension of their reality. Digital real estate, virtual goods, and avatar customization will be massive markets. The companies that build the plumbing for the metaverse, the game engines, the payment systems, the decentralized identity protocols, and the hardware interfaces will be the new gatekeepers of human experience. They will be building the next reality. We have obsessed over oil for a century, but it's really nothing compared to the resource wars of the future. The true fight of the coming decade will be for the two things essential to life: food and water. Climate change, population growth, and pollution are putting unbearable strain on our traditional agricultural systems. Arable land is shrinking, and freshwater sources are depleting. This is honestly an existential crisis that will define the political landscape of 2030. The solution will have to be technological. we will need to decouple food and water production from geography and climate. This means huge automated vertical farms in the middle of cities, growing produce with 95% less water. It means lab-grown meat cultured in bioreactors, that is, indistinguishable from the real thing, but without the massive environmental footprint. It means large-scale desalination plants powered by renewable energy, turning oceans into drinking water. By 2030, control over these food and water systems will mean control over civilization itself. The massive disruption caused by AI and automation will create a social crisis. Millions of people will find their skills have become obsolete, their jobs will vanish, and they will panic. The traditional education system, slow, bureaucratic, and disconnected from the needs of the real world, is completely unprepared for this challenge. The only way for individuals to survive and thrive will be to learn new, relevant skills, and to do it continuously and quickly. Education will be reborn, not in universities but on dynamic, adaptive learning platforms powered by AI. These platforms will analyze the job market in real time, identify skill gaps, and create personalized curricula to retrain people for the jobs of the future. The money won't be in teaching abstract knowledge, it will be in the business of rewiring human lives for a new economic reality. The most valuable companies in this space will be the ones that can effectively and efficiently transform a displaced truck driver into a robot maintenance technician or a laid-off accountant into a data analyst. This wave of technological change won't just change our world. It will put immense pressure on our minds. The speed, the uncertainty, the collapse of identity tied to a lifelong career. It will lead to unprecedented levels of anxiety, depression, and addiction. By 2030, the demand for mental health solutions, from therapy apps to new psychiatric drugs, will explode. It will be one of the largest and most necessary industries. But beyond healing the broken, a darker, more profound industry will rise: human enhancement. Once we master the technology to fix the mind, the next logical step is to improve it. We're talking about neurotechnology, brain-computer interfaces, and smart drugs designed not just for therapy, but to create humans who are faster, sharper, and stronger than the baseline. This creates the ultimate ethical dilemma and the final frontier of inequality. When you can buy a better brain, what happens to those who can't? This industry will force us to confront the very definition of what it means to be human. The year 2030 isn't some distant sci-fi fantasy, it's just around the corner. The forces I've described are already in motion. The code is being written, the rockets are being built, and the capital is flowing. Most people will ignore this warning. They'll remain comfortable in the present, assuming the future will be a slightly modified version of today. They will be wrong, and they will be blindsided. But a few will listen. A few will see the patterns, understand the trajectory, and prepare. And those few will own the future. They will be the builders, the creators, and the leaders of this new world. The question you have to ask yourself is simple. Which group will you be in? The choice to remain ignorant is a choice to become a victim of change. The choice to learn, to adapt, and to build is a choice to become its master. This isn't just about financial investment, it's an investment of your attention and your energy. Don't waste your time, money, and energy on the fading relics of the past. The opportunities are right in front of you, but the window is closing fast. If you want to be part of the group that prepares, subscribe now. We will continue to break down these trends, analyze the signals, and give you the frameworks you need to navigate the most transformative decade in human history. If you miss this, you won't just miss an opportunity, you'll miss the future itself. And by the time you finally notice what's happened, it will already be too late. The choice is yours.